In the last episode, we discussed some theories on investing, so you can feel inspired to get started or just learn some more new tips. Now, if that was of interest, here are 10 new tips to help you start investing today. Tip number 1, do your research. Look at a variety of stocks to see how they're performing over time, or even think of some large companies. Now, you can also ask some people around you who are already investing, which is how I started out. But be sure that you do some research first, and don't just go and blindly trust anybody, or even if they're your friend or family and what they're investing in. Make sure that the companies you're investing in is going to work for you and your portfolio, and whatever your end goals are. A good place to start might be with index funds or the S&P 500. That could be a good place to start to put your money to invest. You could also consider assets like gold or real estate as well. But most importantly again is don't be under the influence. Tip number 2, understand stock trend charts. Most people go into investing thinking they understand, but truth is, a lot of people don't. Here's what people tend to do. So they'll see it at a low, and then it'll go at a high, and then it'll go into a mid kind of range in between the two, and then maybe that's when they decide to buy. But really, you should be looking at things like the line of resistance. You should be looking at data from more recently and the past as far as you can go, and just see if it's a bearish market or a bullish market. That's some key things that you want to look for. Understanding these charts can take you from being an investor to being an educated investor. Tip number 3, buy low, sell high. The only way you'll understand about highs and lows is looking at the stock chart trends and what they say, but also keeping up to date on current news trends. So seeing what's happening. Is there some kind of boom happening? Does there appear to be a recession happening? These are things you want to look out for. An example of selling high would be when Trump was elected. And in this case, everyone thought the economy was going to boom in the US. Buying at a low looks like Trump tariffs. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the US right now and what's happening with companies and the stocks. So that would be buying at a low point. Tip number 4, don't panic sell. Use your common sense, logic, and research to pull you through. People often tend to sell their stocks when there comes a dip or when they're in the dip. But that is the worst time to sell, and actually the best time to buy. By selling, you are not maximizing your profits. And if you are thinking we'll take whatever profits we can, you haven't done your research, unless you need these profits immediately for some external factor. I almost think of it as a gambling mentality over an investing mentality, because stocks are bound to bounce back up after a low. And that's assuming that the market is bullish or on an uptrend. This is a time when people let their emotions set in, and they don't understand the data and what's about to happen next. Tip number 5, if you can hold, hold. If you are looking into long-term investments, the best thing you can do is just hold, even when it's at a low. Now, I know it might be scary because you might see the stock prices go lower than what you bought in at, or even close to what you bought in at, but just trust that if it's on an uptrend, that it's going to continue to rise over time. Tip number 6, buy if you can buy. I know people like to wait for the best time to buy, which is somewhat of a good idea for sure if you've done enough research over time. But there is a rule called always be buying. So if you feel with your research that you're ready to buy and you've found the opportunity, then cash in at that point. Buying a little bit at a time could be a good option, or if you prefer to wait for a crash to happen, which they do happen, then that is also a good time to buy as well. Tip number 7, don't get caught up on trends. What I mean by this is any trending topics, any trending companies, new coins, etc. These can be very risky because there is not enough history to back it up. Now, if you are into risky investments, I will leave that up to you and your own research, because at times it can be profitable. But if you are looking for safe investments, go with what you know. Go with what's safe. Tip number 8, Diversify your portfolio. This is going to give you the best leverage. Think about it this way. Say if you decide to invest in one company and then they go bankrupt. Then that means you've lost all your money that you've put into it. What if they hit an all-time low? Then you've lost what you've put in. What would make this okay is if you have a balanced portfolio, because any of the profits you have from what's balanced in the portfolio is gonna offset your losses. And if you have multiple companies under your belt, especially in different sectors, whether it's technology, farming, gold, etc., then that is adding leverage as well. You could also look into investing in real estate and gold as further investment opportunities. Tip number 9, it's okay to add a little bit at a time. Maybe you want to test out the market and invest in a certain stock in which you want to see over time how it performs. That's always okay if you want to build confidence to see if you want to invest more money into that company later. Then your next move would be to watch for the dip and invest at that point. Tip number 10, don't invest what you can't afford to lose. Maybe this is controversial, but if you don't know what you're doing, why would you want to put all of your savings that you have into one place and see what will happen? It's better to just invest a little bit at a time what you can afford. Some people play out risky investments and put a lot of money into a certain stock or companies, but this is to each their own. You can totally do that, but initially I would say play out the safe route. So did any of these tips help, or did any of these resonate with you? Let me know in the comments if you had a favorite tip.